What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Age of Empires Definitive Edition. We are back with the Hittite campaign with the second mission, Raid on Babylon. Let's take a listen.
The stelae erected in Hattusa and along the goat paths in the far reaches of your domains tell of the exploits of your grandfather, Hattusili. It was he who united the clans of your people. It was he who first among kings reached the seas. It was he who subdued the lands of Alalak and dethroned the many kings of Arzawa. Who are you to Hattusili? Tarhuna, storm god, is displeased with your reign. Dark clouds come from the west, and the sun's warmth no longer falls upon the land. Your people grow hungry, and the warriors are restless. You must lead them south to raid where no Hittite king has ever stood. Be worthy of your grandfather, so that Stelae may one day tell of the conquests of Mursili, king of Hattusa.
It's kind of funny with all these guards and stuff. That's kind of cool. Capture a Babylonian war chest and return it to your camp. Can do, will do. Hints. The Gutians have captured some Hattian villagers. Recover them to build a base. Ugh. There are multiple ways to reach Babylon. The direct route through the Yamhat kingdom or across the river through Gutian lands. The Kassites will aid you with cavalry if you can find them. Alright, so you might be wondering, hey, what are we doing in this screen? Well, what we are doing here is we are doing a little bit of a post-commentary because this mission is A, annoying, and B, it took me quite a few tries. And I don't mind recording something twice if the first attempt goes wrong, but I do mind recording something 5 times. So I just figured out the mission, how it works, what the best way of doing it is, and then I played it and I decided if it goes right I will do a post-commentary, but I don't just want to commentate 5 times on the same things. So I hope you understand. This is not a common reoccurring thing. It's just this mission was a bit annoying, and maybe the next one, because I had to be quiet that evening, I couldn't talk, and I played the next mission as well, so maybe I do it for the next mission as well. If you like that, then please let me know, because this gives me a whole lot of a better chance to explain my thought that went into it. But let's jump right into it. Well, move the mouse out of the way so this all disappears. Great. So the first thing we do is we spawn right there at the top with our little army, and we really don't have very much to do at this position. And I've seen many people try to build their city right at the spawning area, and there are a couple bushes right there, berry bushes, that you could use for food. Hold on. It's loud enough. And it's just a terrible position. You will get run at from so many different angles and directions, and I would suggest moving over to that position. Obviously you have the early army, so you can take out this little outpost. But apart from that, I suggest really leaving everyone alone and not angering and triggering everyone right at the start. And grabbing these cavalry units is quite useful. And then I would just stash away my units for a moment and try to build up a little bit of an economy. Because in the other position it's a lot more hostile. You will be attacked so often, so violently, and in my opinion it's just not worth it. I wanted to build a dock there. And yeah, right now the main purpose is building up an economy. I was kind of stashing away my army there because I should have built houses there. And why am I stashing away my army? Well, the thought behind that is the opponent will probably send plenty of villagers through, etc. And if you keep attacking them, charging at them, killing their units, they are probably not going to be particularly happy. Like right where we have attacked, I think it was orange, and they're not particularly happy. They send a unit, but they're really not that big of a danger right now, and one unit obviously doesn't do too much. But the thing is, if you keep attacking the enemy, and I mean we're taking down a villager there, which is not too bad, but if you keep attacking them, which is why I build a wall here, they are not going to be particularly happy, and then we're going to attack you a lot more, and well, that's not particularly great. So what I'm doing right there is I'm going to build a wall so they can't come from that direction, because they won't bother attacking there right at the start. They will just come from one direction then. And we have enough units to cover a choke point, but at that other starting area you have so many areas where they can come from, and you have so much area to cover that it gets a lot more difficult, and that's just not something I really want to do. And after a while you probably will get overrun. I mean, it is hardest, and this game does take its difficulty serious, so there's that. Now, I don't mind building housing there, because we're not going there anyway, so it doesn't really matter if we block the way with houses. And as you can see, I'm just raiding a little bit, tiny bit here and there, but we're not really poking into their bases too much. As you can see, there's a barracks right there, so there's another base that we will be taking out quite soon. So, we're still building up our economy relatively in peace for the moment. I don't know why this farm has been bugging out, I have no idea. Well, you know, sometimes you delete it, whatever. And now there are the first attacks coming, and catapults are really the bane of my existence in this mission. We lost a villager there, trying to build the dock. Truth be told, the dock is one of the most important buildings right there in that position. We're trying to save our villager here. But as you can see, everyone is coming from this direction, and it's a lot easier to defend, because they must go through your entire army through a choke point to reach your economy. Like in the other position, they will just run by and they will kill your villagers and everything is in danger. And the way we set it up right now, our economy is relatively safe, because it's unlikely that enemy units just charge through your position like that. As you can see, I just try to build an archery range because I've been playing too much AoE 2 Definitive Edition and I'm getting the hotkeys mixed up. Yep, that can happen sometimes. So as you can see, the main entrance is over this river, and my idea is just, if we build a couple of ships, we can further secure this position, because ships are really strong. Especially against land units, ships are just amazing. So I thought if we block this off with ships, it's going to be even more difficult for them to get through. And that's kind of the main reason why the bane of my existence has been the catapults, because like, they sink ships in such a tight space. They sink ships rather efficiently, and I didn't like that very much. So right now we're just trying to build up a little bit here and kinda waiting for things to develop here a little bit. Another thing that's going to be annoying is the priests that will come in time after time. And I actually considered attacking brown. and possibly yellow, or really everyone, because they get really annoying after a while, and they just keep charging and keep charging all game long. It doesn't stop. It's not like in some other missions it stops after a while, but this just does not stop. It's non-stop action. And considering that our resources here are rather limited, that's kind of a difficult proposition. I mean, we're having a very good ratio and also a very good kill to death ratio. Sorry, I touched my mouse. But they still can replenish a lot, and we kinda can't. So, you know, that's a bit of a problem. But right now we're not really losing anything. We're losing a couple of ships probably at some point, but ships are easy to replenish. They only cost wood. We have enough wood here. The gold units are going to be the problem over time. And obviously the towers, replenishing those, should we lose any, would be difficult because we really have a very limited stone supply. And you don't just want to throw it away. It's kind of a main message. I'm getting it right here. So as you can see, we are kind of chopping away at this forest here, and we're kind of chopping towards this other base. So there's going to be coming this time where we just have to go down there and take down that base, but it's not a problem, you know. I mean, we are already at a point in the game where we are being attacked a lot, so I'm not really afraid of that. If you look at around the internet, and obviously you have been looking around the internet to find a guide for this mission, which is exactly why you are here right now, you might find some guys that proclaim that there is a speed run for this, and we're going to tell you, well, you can just walk around that right path where we stopped to build our base. But you can just walk down that path towards the bottom and kind of just walk into the red base, steal the artifact, and come back and kind of finish this mission in like 5 minutes. And as much as I would like to tell you that that actually works, it doesn't anymore. It used to. It did. It was a valid strategy for this mission. It worked at some point during this game's life cycle, meaning in the past. But it doesn't anymore. They actually, well, I don't want to say fixed it, because it was probably not a bug. They just probably didn't intend for it to be that way, but they changed that and they added some units into that base. So even if you go there right at the start, there's going to be plenty of units around there. So your starting army will just be annihilated. And when you lose everything, and you're dead. So yeah, it's really no good. It's unfortunate because I actually tried to show you that way, but it doesn't work anymore, so boo-hoo. The great thing about the Hittites, by the way, is that their warships have +3 range. And I'm currently looking if they have Centurion, which they don't. And I'm looking if they have triremes, which they also don't. But the warships have +3 range, so we can actually range the priests and the catapults, which we're doing right now. We're kind of outmaneuvering this guy. I hate when people do that to me, and, you know. Let's do it to the poor AI that doesn't know what it's up against. And when I played, I actually didn't know we had +3 range. I was just like, how are my ships shooting so far? None of that makes any sense. But, well, I've found out in the meantime, so now it all makes sense. I was a bit sad that we don't have triremes, because I must admit, I read on the forum about some guy bragging he's played this mission and he just spammed triremes everywhere. I don't know how you did that, mate, but there are no triremes. Sorry, mate, you know. And right now I'm just upgrading everything. Ballistics is obviously fine, or a good upgrade, because our towers and our ranged units are important, and we kind of want to hit moving units, which is most of them. So it's kind of important, you know. So kind of a point behind it. Also, right now you can see that it's very important to have the towers here and to have the ships here, because if we had just land units, we would have probably been overrun at that point. But that's also because we're kind of relying on these units. And I think if we had only land units, we would have a way better defense. So, where's that? Building a couple of hoplites right now, for the simple reason that we're a strong unit. And if you have been watching my other videos, which maybe you have, maybe you haven't, I don't know, you will know that I am a big fan of hoplites. I love them. Or phalanx, or centurion, or whatever the unit is. And I love those units, and they are just very strong. So I like them. So I built them. Unapologetically. They are, however, not a one-size-fits-all type deal where every problem is solved by them. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Well, maybe not unfortunately, I mean, it would be a balancing nightmare, but you know what I mean. Sometimes it's just a wish that you can build that one unit and all your problems go away, but that unfortunately doesn't work that way. You said unfortunately again. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Where did I throw away 100 extra stone? I don't even know. We have 100 stone less than when I last checked. Oh yeah, we upgraded the towers. There we go. And I actually can't get the last tower upgrade because we are stuck at 690 stone and we don't have any more available. That's another thing where I'm kind of looking at AoE 2 at the market, where you can just buy a little bit of stone if you need any, or sell a little bit of wood or whatever it is. That just doesn't exist here. It's a shame, really. But as you can see, this position is pretty much on lockdown, and every time we are losing the position a little bit, like losing ships, etc., we can just rebuild them. I mean, we have, for now, still more than enough wood to gather, so where's that? We just lost a hoplite. It's really these catapults were so annoying, as we have upgraded to phalanx now. But really they're just so freakishly annoying. I always just lose a ship, and everything is so bunched up you can't get out of the way because everything gets stuck with the pathing. Yeah, it's terrible. It really is. And right now I'm building kind of a hit squad, I guess, that I can take the artifact with. And yeah, I'm just building it up right now, while defending that upper position. Waiting, waiting, waiting. So yeah, it's just waiting for the units to spawn, I guess. And defending this position. Like, can you imagine if we had triremes here? That would be amazing, right? And I'm now building a siege workshop because we will be running into plenty of towers down there, and like in the red base. And as much as I like phalanx and as much as you can take down towers with them, I am not a big fan of just throwing units away at that stage, because it's a pretty tight game already, as we lose additional units. Oh, it went far. And like, if you look there, we are already in a tough position, so I'm not particularly interested in throwing units away. Like, this might look like we have a position, we have a mission on lockdown, but this is far from over. And again, as much as it might look like it, it's not over. I mean, you make a mistake, you still will suffer, you will lose if you make a mistake here. Just if you look at that, the units just, they keep coming in, they keep charging, they keep attacking. And it is problematic in a way. And it's hard to deal with, because you're constantly under fire. Constantly just dealing with these mass attacks, and it's not that simple. So we keep charging here, and we keep building up our army. And right now the thought is really just, let's build up the army and get out some catapults and then walk down there. And really it's just waiting around right now, which was a bit of a risky move. Now looking back, I should have already been on the move. I should already be attacking, because the longer you wait, the more you wear down your position. I mean, as you can see, we are killing a lot, but we're also losing a lot. And we are not in a position where we can constantly replenish. We are out of gold supply, that is. We are out of stone supply. And really all we have left is farms that we can reseed, and wood that we need to A, reseed the farms, and B, replenish the ships. And I'm pretty sure, no, the other monk, the other priest, I think, converted the cavalry. Because for a moment it looked like the dead priest got the conversion off. But yeah, that's not what happened. As you can see, like, even if you make cost-efficient trades, which we do, we kill a lot more than we lose, and we kill a lot of gold units while losing mostly units that don't cost gold. Even making all these trades, it's still a bad deal for us. And that's just because we are running out of resources here. We have some more trees to gather right up there, and that's pretty much it. So we kind of have to hold this position on the strength of wood. And what can wood buy us? Well, trash units and boats. That's really everything. And I think we can agree that you can't hold that position with trash units. So really everything we have for this is keeping our towers alive, not wasting stone, he said as he built another tower. Yeah, you know what I mean, like keeping the towers alive, keeping that position strong, and just keeping ships alive, because ships are good against land units, and here we finally found some more gold. And that's kind of the next step, expanding to that position, which I do right now. But still, I should have been on the move a lot earlier. I should have secured this entire island already. And if I did this again, that would kind of be my advice. To not waste time this much. We should have charged a lot earlier. And also, like right here, there's no reason to take down that tower, and we lost another 2 ships. We are taking down so much, but we're also losing so much. Really is ridiculous. But here you can just kind of see that I'm unsure how to proceed with this mission now. At the east corner there is a base of, I think it's brown. And if you play this, I would suggest taking it out. Bottom east, or east corner, not bottom. The east corner on this island where you are. There's a brown base, and just get rid of it. Get a little bit of a hit squad. I think like getting like 10 phalanx or whatever. And moving there will be enough. That'll do the trick. Like just with this hit squad, which has existed for quite a while now, you can just walk there and you can take down whatever they have, really. Let's see, we're not taking this out. And here we have first red tower. Now we are in the position where we actually should have been like 10 minutes ago, which is take on the red base. I mean, red has some units to defend, yes. All that's very true. But we've been playing it, I think, a little too carefully. Or is it orange, that base in the east corner? I don't know. I don't know if it's orange or brown. It doesn't really matter. Might be orange. As you can see, we're slowly running out of wood despite having plenty of people gathering wood, but, you know. I'm also totally ignoring that position. Really, I'm at that point in the game now where I'm just like, let's take red. Let's take the artifact and get out of here, because I sensed that the game could shift. We were slowly running out of wood. And yeah, I just sensed that this might not be going the way that I would like. As you can see, if we had killed that, yeah, I think it's brown, that brown base in the corner, no units would have been coming from there. That's just this two-side attack type deal. It's just so annoying. And it's just something you don't want to deal with. So if I did this mission again, I would take down that base. Certainly. That's like the one thing that if I could do it over. I mean, obviously I could, but I don't want to. If I did it again, that would be the difference in what I would be doing. I mean, obviously the starting position was fine. I think you agree with that. The water defense is very useful. And I would have attacked earlier. We have been waiting a little too long. Playing a little bit too passively, and The thought was just, they can't keep attacking like that all the time. They have to slow down at some point, right? But they don't. And we just hit ourselves, which was embarrassing. But yeah, that was kind of a thought, like they have to slow down at some point, right? And, well, they don't. Now they send their units, which I don't particularly care about. I mean, yeah, they have the archers, which are annoying, but as long as the catapult survives, I don't really care. Even a half-health catapult does full damage, right? So yeah, that wasn't too big of a deal. And especially the melee units they send, we are failing, so we don't care. Don't care about melee units. We do, however, care that they can now walk through here. This is a problem. And you see, if we managed to take them out and take out their base in the bottom, we wouldn't have to deal with any of this. I'm sorry, where were we? Yeah. Just continuous. So, yeah, my son woke up and, yeah, had to attend him. And now he's asleep again. Finally, the same thing happened while I was playing this mission, just a tiny bit later. But really right around that point in time. Now here I was unsure if I can just charge and attack with this, but my plan was I run in here and, well, it didn't work. It went horribly wrong. As you can probably tell. And this was the point in the game where I was like, I'm not so sure this is going the way I wanted to. And then I lost this unit, and I was like, I really should have taken out that brown base. And now it's really too late to care. This is just... I missed the point. I had a great standing in the game and then I missed it. But that doesn't reduce the strategy that I'm showing you. Like, the strategy is fine, I just waited too long. That's really the only issue. And I didn't take out the brown base, which is the only strategy mistake I would say we made. But also, as you can see, like, outside of that it's going really well, so... I mean, it's not like we aren't doing too well or whatever it is. So... we have a transporter right here now, and I decided, well, if we can't walk these units down there, I'm going to transport them. I really feared we would lose the transport to a conversion, which was one thing I saw this whole thing going wrong. But as you can see, like, it's just not going the way that I want to, and it's just... it just seems wrong. The way it's going, it seems wrong. Like this also, like, half a second later, we take them down, and it's just, we lost units left and right, we lost them here, we lost them there, it's just, it's not working. And our defense is still holding strong, but we dropped down to 32 population, and that really says everything that we need to know. So luckily we sent the injured one, but this time he's gonna get a full health one. Obviously the transport is already full because it's just a, well, basic light transport. Which really isn't much to brag about. But yeah, our entire economy, we are down to like 14 villagers, with 12 of them gathering wood, so we can build ships. I'm tired. That's just like, hey, we need to build ships, blah blah blah, let's gather some more wood. I just have like 2 farmers left, and in a way it didn't really matter to me, but... And here comes the catapults. And this is like, I was just thinking like, it's all falling apart, oh god, I need to do this again, oh god. And in a way it was falling apart right there, it was really not ideal. And I think there's 2 very good ways of beating this, and we missed both. I think the first is we should have charged way earlier, or the second is, instead of sitting on our hands, we actually take down several enemy bases. We didn't do either, and that was a problem. That was why we are in the progress of throwing this. But anyway, we're still going strong. And yeah, for the moment it's still going okay. This is not a huge deal right now. Taking down some of the military buildings so that they can't replenish. I didn't know if they replenish, I had no idea. That, however, was a problem. And like, we let him convert a little bit too long. But at that point, Red had almost lost all of their units. There was really just not a whole lot left for them. So right now it was just getting rid of some of the towers, and then grabbing the artifact, and then, you know, booking it. While the ships hold firm and the defensive position holds. And then we bring the artifact there and we win. That was the plan. It's just this should have been a lot smoother, like, we should have attacked a lot earlier, should have made this before the situation in our main base got so dire. And the other way of doing this is just using this army to actually charge into opponents. Which is a good way of doing it, like you charge into opponents, you kill them. And then you have 1 opponent or 2 opponents less to worry about. I mean, Red won't attack, they really just defend. Yellow is attackable, Brown is attackable. They're all attackable, they don't have like these massive armies to defend themselves or these great bases. It's just they constantly produce. And well, you should get into their base and destroy the production facilities or the production buildings, and when they can't reproduce and outproduce and constantly spam you. So it's kind of a way to go. We played it very defensive, and once we were in position to attack, we didn't. It's kind of a final verdict on this. So we lose another catapult. It's a downside to the phalanx, they're very slow. Hey, you almost didn't notice that I had paused the game there. That wasn't cut too bad, was it? Yeah, it was when my son woke up and I attended him, brought him back to sleep, and you know, continued playing, kind of like what we're doing right now. Instead, we're recording and not playing. Right now we're just waiting for the last tower to go down, and our defensive position up here looks a lot stronger again, but this is very dire. Like, we are now paying the price for not taking down the bottom base. That's the price you pay. And really not paying a lot of attention to the whole thing developing. Because throughout most of the mission there really wasn't a lot coming up there. Like, I didn't consider taking down the bottom base because it wasn't a threat for most of the game. And as you can see, we're down to 10 villagers and 27 pop. Like, it's really, really getting bad. And yeah, like, the only reason why I'm not really worrying is because we have these 5 units down here and the transport ship. And anytime your hopes are down to 5 units, or 6 units in this case, we catapulted 5 failings, it's pretty dire. Well, there's 5 units, 4 units. But we have the war chest, or the artifact. And technically that's all we need. I mean, obviously in reality, it should probably have a little bit more than just that, but, you know, it is how it is. So now we bring everything to the transport ship. And as you can see, we have been wrecked by catapults again. And we don't have a whole lot of wood left to replenish the ships. And we lose another ship and another ship. As you can see, there's like, they would have been so easily attackable through the water route. And then we could have gone down, or we could have destroyed them, and everything would have been easier. Alas, we didn't, so, you know. So now we're transporting the unit, the artifact, up here. We have 3 more failings to go along with it. And I must say, right now I was a bit worried. We were down to 17 population because I've kind of stopped caring. And that was a very unfortunate shot. I actually thought right now, we get run out of the game. And that's it. Like, we still need to get the artifact up here, and that was a very unfortunate shot right there. I was like, okay, get the artifact up here, okay, that's a lot of units, that's bad. We lost the artifact. Okay, we lost another unit. We are down to 1 phalanx. We got the artifact back. Okay. We are down to 0 units. And we won. Like, this is just... I played it so tight.
The scribe tells of your victory. Mursili, king of Hattusa, anointed priest of the storm god Tarhuna, steward of the sun god, overlord of the earth, marched on Babylon, on the road no king had ever taken, and defeated the lords of Babylon of number no less than 50, and took captives numbering no less than 2,000. He carried off to Hattusa oxen, ingots of bronze and copper, and the god Marduk of Babylon. Of the oxen he made sacrifices to the gods, who were pleased with his devotions.
Like, we played it so tight towards the end where it was ridiculous. Like, that was just... We could have done a little bit better, but I think the overall strategy sticks, and I think the overall strategy works very well, so that's kind of a point we get across. It was just... You don't really need to play it this tight. But even doing that, we won somewhat comfortably. If we had made a little different decisions, maybe even better, but still, it was alright, I think. I think the overall strategy was pretty good. The starting location, I think, is the key to this mission, and then just defending the choke points, building up a little bit, and then taking the mission home. So I hope you can do this well. I hope you can beat this mission. And until next time, farewell.